You know, I really thought I would be making a video celebrating that mcdavo would have been lifting the Stanley Cup tonight. But the Florida Panthers win 2-1 in the Stanley Cup final in Game 7 against the Edmonton Oilers, who crawled their way back from a 0-3 deficit, gave us all hope that they're going to win. I thought they had such a good chance to win this hockey game, man. You saw Paul Maurice talking in post-game after Game 6. Oh, momentum means nothing. If you're an athlete like myself, or in anything in general, you know momentum is everything. You know momentum is literally what makes you proceed in whatever task you're doing. The Oilers didn't have it tonight, man. They didn't have it tonight. They didn't play like they did in games 4, 5, 6. They didn't. They played an all-right hockey game. They didn't play what they were doing the past 3 games. They blew out the Panthers minus Game 5, I think, when they won. No, I think they blew out the fucking Panthers for the past couple games here. And then we come to Game 7. McDavid's coming off in Game 6, 0 points, 0 assists, 0 shots on goal, and they still lose. Tonight, he went back-to-back game. Like, mcdavo, Edmonton, what went wrong? He's still the GOAT in my opinion. Connor McDavid won the Conn Smythe. He didn't come out for it. Do you blame him? Like, do you really blame him as the Panthers are lifting the cup around the ice? You think McDavid's going to come out to Gary Bettman fucking, oh, the Conn Smythe is awarded to the best player who dragged their team through the mud in the play. Shut the fuck up, Gary Bettman. Shut the fuck up. This guy was glazing. Oh, we brought the Florida Panthers to South Florida for 30 years ago, and this is your time. The Panthers won a cup before the fucking Miami Dolphins won a Super Bowl. We have Connor McDavid in the cup final, and we see the Florida Panthers win. Like, the game itself was just, it was a hard watch coming from a Oilers mcdavo fan perspective. I thought that the Panthers just came out to play, man. I don't know what else to say. They just came out to play. Like, they really just dominated the entire hockey game. Carter Verhaeghe scores a goal. He's been quiet all playoffs. Huge goal. Matthias Janmark. What a feed. What a pass from Cody Ceci. After that pass, Cody Ceci making a play. A fucking Leon Draisaitl. A Connor McDavid. A Wayne Gretzky sauce of a pass. Buries it on a breakaway. Ties the game 1-1. In the first period. And then it's just, the Panthers just didn't, they couldn't stop coming at the Oilers. Like, where was this Panthers the past 3 games? If you were going to play like this in Game 7, why would you not play like this in Games 4, 5, and 6? Like, did they do this purposely? I don't understand how they just come out the way they did and play the way they did and drop the past 3 games, letting the Oilers walk all over them. McDavid, 8 points in 2 games. Draisaitl with the pass. Like, it's a fairy tale. It was a fairy tale for the Oilers. And then we go to game 7 and we lose 2-1 in a heartbreak, and we're seeing the fucking Florida Panthers lift the Stanley Cup. Like, I don't know how the fuck we can even just comprehend this type of hockey game, man. Don't get me wrong, this hockey game was phenomenal. Did it live up to the expectation that we thought it would? Probably not. Like, the Oilers got dominated. I'll be the first one to say it. I'm a McDavid stan, and I'll tell you right now, they shut down Connor. First of all, I never seen Connor McDavid in my entire life watching this guy for over a decade slip up on the, no, not slip up like opportunities wise, like legitimately slip on the ice as much as he did tonight. Like, he was falling on the ice and stuff. Like, I don't know what the fuck they did. They probably heated up the ice. I don't know what the fuck they did down in Florida. And the fans, the Florida fans, oh my God, they make me sick. If you're a Panthers fan, congratulations, but for fuck's sakes, dude, I'm watching the fucking, after the game when they're raising the fucking Lord Stanley, and there's empty seats in the arena. There's empty seats in the arena as these guys are lifting the Stanley Cup. And you're telling me this is a team that deserves to win the Stanley Cup? Dude, Edmonton was buzzing these entire playoffs. Nobody counted them out. Like I said in my last video, real hockey fans know this series should have never been 3-0 Florida. And then here we go to game 7, and then this type of shit happens. The Oilers got dominated. Top to bottom. Bobrovsky, oh, he missed morning skate. Oh, this, that. Like, Stuart Skinner played unbelievable. Stuart Skinner played amazing, okay? This is not on Stuart Skinner at all. I don't even know what to say, man. Like, honestly, like, I just... Like I said in a couple of videos ago, like I always just say, like I said, I've been watching McDavid for so goddamn long. This was his moment, and the team didn't show up. And quite frankly, Connor didn't really have the opportunity to do anything. Like, he had one chance at I believe it was at the end of the second or in the third period, I forgot when it was, when he had the backhand opportunity, went over the net. That could have been the game right there. That could have been tied 2-2, boom. Who knows what happens after that. But the Edmonton Oilers end up losing 2-1 in the Stanley Cup final. Like, shout out Florida, I guess. Like, they were there last year when Vegas won the cup. I saw a bunch of Florida guys saying, oh, we prepped for this all season long in postseason. Last August, they were fucking preparing what they're going to be like in a Stanley Cup final. Like, shut the fuck up. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Your team is stacked. You have a great head coach. He's been around for fucking 30 fucking years. This guy's been to 3 cup finals. He finally won a cup. Paul Maurice. Shout out Paul Maurice, Ontario guy. I don't know, man. It's just so heartbreaking from a McDavid stan. And not even just as a McDavid stan perspective, just like this Oilers team in general. Like, what they did this year was absolutely amazing. And I know you have to look at the positive side of things. Like, oh, they came back from the mud. They started off 2-9 in the regular season. They lost to San Jose. It's a wash for the Oilers to not make the fucking playoffs. Blah, 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 blah. Here they are in a Game 7 in the Stanley Cup final. This team has resilience. This team has depth. People talk shit about the Oilers' depth. They had depth. Look at Game 6. Connor McDavid had no shots on goal, 0 points, and they still won 5-1. Like, this team is a fantastic hockey club. But man, they just didn't have it tonight. The most important game, they didn't have it. And it's just so unfortunate to watch. Like, man, like, Florida Panthers winning a Stanley Cup just doesn't sit right with me. And like I said earlier, fucking Gary Bettman. Oh, the Florida Panthers, we believed in them. The owners built this arena. Fuck, dude, shut up, dude. Is it a coincidence that it's been fucking since '93 when Gary Bettman took over as commissioner in the NHL that a Canadian team hasn't won the Stanley Cup? Like, honestly. Like, I don't know what else to say, man. Like, what the fuck does Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers have to do, or any Canadian team in general have to do? We saw the Montreal Canadiens a couple years ago against the fucking Tampa Bay Lightning. Like, what does a Canadian team have to do to win the Cup? This is our sport, dude. This is our sport. And teams like Vegas and Florida and Tampa Bay are winning the Stanley Cup. Yeah, I'm sure. I know Tampa Bay's been in the league. I know Florida's been in the league. Vegas fucking 5 years ago. That's a joke and a half. I'm not here to talk shit about the Florida Panthers. Congratulations to the Florida Panthers. Like, I mean, dude, their team's stacked. Their team is stacked. Like, I don't know what else to say, dude. Top to bottom, their team is stacked. They have depth. They have goal-scoring ability. Fucking Sam Reinhart with that fucking goal right there, man. Stuart Skinner should have had that one. I know he would have loved to have that one back because the way that puck went into the net, man, that's not a goal that Stuart Skinner should have gave up. But you know what? It happened. Like, this is just, it's been an unbelievable playoffs. Watching from a McDavid Stan perspective, like, they did what they could, man. They did everything in their power to win. They brought it back from 3-0 down. Like, give credit to the Edmonton Oilers, but goddamn, man. Who, as a hockey fan, you don't even have to be an Oilers fan. You don't have to be a McDavid fan. Just a fan of the fan of hockey in general needs to see Connor McDavid lift the Stanley Cup. Yeah, sure, he won the Conn Smythe. No fucking shit, he won the Conn Smythe. This guy was ridiculous all playoff long. He broke a Gretzky record. He's the first player ever to have 8 points in 2 games in the fucking Stanley Cup final. Just to lose in Game 7, 2-1 to the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers won a Stanley Cup tonight. It's heart-wrenching to see, honestly. Like, it really is, man. Like, this is just, I don't even know how to feel. Like I said, congratulations to the Florida Panthers, man. Their team is good. They're unbelievable. They went to the Cup final last year. They lost to Vegas in 5. Yeah, blah, 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 whatever. We know the Panthers are gross, okay? We know that. But to see Connor McDavid in a Cup final not lift the Stanley Cup is the most heart-wrenching, disgusting thing I've ever seen. From a sports fan perspective, everybody wants to see Connor McDavid lift the Stanley Cup. And then here's the Florida Panthers lifting the Stanley Cup. In Sunrise, at home. As they're lifting the cup, there's empty seats in the arena. You're telling me that's a team that deserves to win the Stanley Cup? Seriously? Like, but that's just how it's been with the NHL recently, man. Like, Vegas, Florida. Like, Vegas winning a Stanley Cup is crazy. Last year, when the fucking Edmonton Oilers lost in Game 6 to the Vegas Golden Knights. Why is Vegas stacked? Why is the Florida Panthers stacked, man? Connor McDavid should have a Stanley Cup this year. Should have a Stanley Cup this year. But I don't know if it wasn't meant to be. I don't know when it's going to happen. Leon Draisaitl has contract negotiations. Connor McDavid has one more heater left on his deal. Like, I understand they can't keep a lot of guys, but since they lost, maybe it's almost in a way positive, so they could keep some of the guys that brought them to this position. Bouchard, Stuart Skinner, Connor Brown, Matthias Janmark, Matthias Ekholm, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. Like, Adam Henrique, he's been there. Matthias Ekholm's been there. Corey Perry's been there. Corey Perry won a cup with the Ducks. This team is so good, but they ran into a freak train. But at the same time, they brought it back. They had it in their fucking hands to win the Stanley Cup. The Oilers, I said they need to capitalize on their power play. But they didn't. I know their power play kill was unbelievable, but goddamn, man, like, they need to score on the power play. No shame to Stuart Skinner, man. That guy has the experience now. We signed Stuart Skinner for a long-term deal. You don't get rid of Stuart Skinner. Like, you can't. You actually can't. Like, he's unbelievable, dude. People were doubting him. People were doubting this, that about... Dude, he stood on his head this playoffs. He got pulled against Van. Comes back, went unbelievable. Dude, the saves he made were fantastic this entire playoffs. We cannot get rid of Stuart Skinner. What does Leon Draisaitl do? After they just lost a cup final. What does Leon do? Does Leon want to come back? Where would Leon go? Like, I don't see Leon and Connor parting ways. Dude, him and Connor know that they are the backbone of this hockey club. And without them, they're nowhere near this position that they were in tonight. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I don't know. If they came out the way that they did the past 3 games, they would have won tonight. We would have saw Connor McDavid lifting a Stanley Cup tonight. But we didn't. And we saw the Florida Panthers lift it. We saw Sasha Barkov and Sergei Bobrovsky and Mac Chuck. Like, it's tough, man. It's not a good feeling. It sucks, dude. You watch this entire season. Oh, they lost to the Sharks. They started off 2-9 and 2-9-1. Like, everybody counted them out, and then here they are in the cup final, and then we lose in 7. Like, as a McDavid stan, he's not done yet. Like, look at Ovechkin. It took him 13 seasons to win a Stanley Cup. All Connor McDavid needs to do is win a Stanley Cup. And he's in the conversation. In my opinion, he's already the greatest player. But you can't say he's the greatest player without a Stanley Cup. You know what, man? This guy is a phenom of a human being when it comes to the sport of hockey. This guy is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. Okay? Like, he will win a Stanley Cup one day. He will. But until that time comes, man, I'll be waiting. I'll definitely be waiting. We'll see what happens in the offseason. We'll see who goes, see who comes in, see what the management does. Does Chris Knobloch say yes? Dude, this guy made some crazy calls regarding the lines, and it worked. We came back down from 3-0, okay? Like, let's not take that out of consideration here. Like, they came back from 3-0 in a Stanley Cup final. But they just didn't get the job done. And it's so unfortunate, but there's not much else to really say. Like, I don't know. I wish Stuart Skinner made that save on Reinhardt. I wish McDavid didn't fall a few times throughout the game. Like, when do you ever see Connor McDavid fall like the way he did tonight? On his edges and stuff. He's on top of that shit all the time. And just somehow tonight he couldn't caress the puck like he normally does. Like, that, dude, that's weird. That's weird. And don't hit me with the, oh, McDavid's not a big time player. He's not built. Shut up, dude. What Connor McDavid did this playoffs is unimaginable. It's not human-like. Everybody knows he deserves a Stanley Cup. Shout out to the Florida Panthers, I guess. Like, they locked him down. They locked down Leon. Leon had so many chances, but for some reason he just couldn't connect with them. So many times he's in the hash marks where he scored so many goals this season, but they weren't falling tonight. It sucks, man. It just sucks. Like, do we really want to see Florida Panthers lift the Stanley Cup? No. Like, no. Definitely not. But the Oilers will be back. We'll see what they do in the offseason, because I wouldn't say a lot of things need to change, but definitely things will be changed, because we can't retain maybe this exact roster. It sucks, man. Now the Stanley Cup's over. June 24th. I predicted the Oilers in 7. They could have done it, but they didn't. And you know what they say, man? That's the way she goes. That's the way she goes. There's not much else I can really say. They fought through a war to get to this position. To not close it out is almost just like it's almost like losing 4 if you're not going to win in 7. But at the same time, man, the Panthers came out. They played amazing. They dominated the entire game. But for the Edmonton Oilers, it wasn't enough, man. We couldn't generate enough offense to win the hockey game. So on that note, see you next year. I'll be back with some news about hockey, whatever happens in the off season. But for now, from a McDavid stand and from the Oilers standpoint, what a season, what a team. McDavo, GOAT. Chris Knobloch, unbelievable what he's done. The whole entire coaching staff. The video guy who said that's offside against Sasha Barkov when he scored that goal. Like, man, this team deserves to win the cup. They should have won the cup, but they didn't. So for now, it's farewell. But the Oilers will be back, and we will see the greatest hockey player of all time lift the Stanley Cup. It might be next year. But in the meantime, Matt Tkachuk and the Florida Panthers are fucking probably drinking 100,000 beers tonight with Lord Stanley. Forza Edmonton. Forza McDavo. Forza Leon Draisaitl. Forza Stuart Skinner. They will be back. When? I sure hope it's next year. On that note, GG's to the Panthers. Edmonton Oilers should have won the Stanley Cup, but they didn't. I'm not petty about it. I'm just upset. Like, I'm just upset. McDavo will be back. It's just tough, man. Cheers.